Your question is that sometimes when you are inwardly focused, you're not sure if you are merely concentrating on the self or just being the self.
That's my question. Correct. That's correct.
Concentrating on the self takes a little effort. It's an important exercise, a training of the attention to stay in the natural state. Because although the self is our natural state for everybody, because it pre-exists like religion and belief systems and so on, it's the most natural for everyone. But on account of the conditioning that we pick up, and then this basic fundamental identification with the body that makes us feel that we are our body. And then once you have the feeling that you are your body, then other conditioning can start to happen on top of this basic assumption and belief. So now, throughout all of this, what I'd call misunderstanding of who we are, the self is always present, because the self is never not present. You understand? It's not like the self has somewhere else to go, or that sometimes it's not the self. It's always the self. And by self I mean that reality of our being, which is unchanging. It's not depending on something else to be what it is. It's completely self-sufficient. So all spiritual practice is only to reach that place which is not practice. Isn't it? I mean, all spiritual practice must be to arrive at that which is effortless, and what is natural. You see, as long as effort is there, it means that there is some sense that I am not yet in my natural being, so I need some exercise to get established in my natural being. So in the self-inquiry, we don't accept that assumption. In other paths of spiritual disciplines, accepts that identity that I am separated from the real self. I don't know it yet, and I must find some exercise, some belief system, something, in order to get me back to that original place. Okay? So most people accept this completely naturally, and they don't challenge this. They accept it almost as a fact. But in self-inquiry, this is not accepted as a fact. We say that obviously the self is what is natural in us. It is who we are. But we are not knowing this now. We are believing that we are the personality, and we are the mind, and we are the body. And because of that belief, we are in a state of anxiety, actually. Because the body-mind realm is not stable. It's always moving. It's never stable. And we want to, at a certain point, we want to come out of that instability and be established in that which is naturally stable. So something has to make the effort, it seems, isn't it? And I say what has to make the effort is actually our self-image, an idea that we have about ourselves. Because the true self, what we are, does not have to make any effort to be what it is, because it's already there. So something has conceived of an idea that it is not that.
It is, sure.
You see? And that which is thinking, I am not that natural self yet. We have discovered that that is the mind, that is the thoughts, is like this. And we, who are consciousness, are in a kind of state of hypnosis, and we are believing that we are the part, we are separate from the self. But in truth, we cannot be separate from ourselves.
sure.
Except as an idea we're having an idea which we call like a dream, that we are not the self yet, and that maybe we are the self in essence, but we're not the self in experience as yet. So we are trying to experience the self.
Yeah, sure.
But this we have to find out what this we is. When we say I am concentrating on the self, which comes back to your question now.
Yeah.
So I had to speak about these things before I come back to your question now. And your question is, when I sit to meditate, I am not sure whether I am really kind of concentrating, I'm in a state of concentration, or I'm in this natural state of being.
Yeah, that's correct.
So how will you know?
I don't know.
I'll tell you how you know. How you will know is that when you're concentrating on something, there is a kind of effort concentrating, because at some point, if concentration, if it didn't work, if concentration didn't work, then you would say that it's a completely waste of time. Concentration must at some point be successful, meaning that the one who is concentrating merges into what you're concentrating on, and then there's no separation. That's called the yoga, no? The real yoga.
Sure.
The one who is concentrating and the concentration and what you're concentrating on, then somehow these three separate elements, they vanish, and only what is remaining. So successful contemplation or concentration, meaning that the one who is concentrating must vanish. It's true or not? You see, no? Because as long as there's somebody concentrating, then concentrating is an exercise being done by somebody to get to something. So when the concentrating is successful as an exercise, it means that the one who is concentrating is vanished. And only what is there is there. Now you say, I'm not sure if I'm concentrating or in the direct experience of myself. And I thought, I wanted to record that actually, because I have not heard anybody put it like this, and I felt it was a good way of actually clarifying something. When you are concentrating, you have the sense of being someone. You have the sense that I am trying to do something. This is called concentration.
First is coming, then after somewhere else I'm into, I don't know, into that point. Then just
when you're concentrating and the feeling, I am doing this, I am concentrating to find the self. And at some point, there is no sense of self.
No.
Okay?
Not like that.
Either it goes like there is no sense of self, there's no sense of self, and only what is there. And that is timeless. There's no practice in it.
Like effortless like that.
Either that happens, or sometimes you fall into sleep, or you fall into a state of thinking. Because many times people, they look like they're meditating, but they're really thinking a lot. No? It's okay. So sometimes this concentration, you may call, which is also an aspect of self-inquiry. Concentrating means not touching any other thought. Okay? So if you don't touch any thought, I want to ask this question to you. If you're not touching any thought or any object, okay, then what are you concentrating on?
There's no concentration there.
This is what I'm pointing. Because usually even meditation, the meditator is holding on the goal, the aim of the meditation. They are holding something and they're focusing only on that. And they're only focusing on that, and then everything else vanish. Then only that is staying, isn't it? And that I call kind of concentration, generally speaking. So you have an object which you're so dedicated, you're so holding that in your focus of your attention, that nothing else can distract you, and then everything else fall away, except the object of attention. Okay? So I say to you, if there is no thought, if you're not concentrating on any thought, or on any image, okay, then what is the object of concentration? Then what happened? I want to know.
I can't see anything there. It's like I cannot say what is happening.
Okay, let's go another step. Then there is an awareness that there's neither objects nor thoughts. There's nothing here. Okay? But there's a self-awareness, or not?
Yeah, I think self-awareness. I think so. That's why I'm asking. I don't know. What
You are there or not? Are you there or not? If there's nothing to engage with, there's nothing to see, nothing to create a relationship with.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay? So what remains now?
I don't know.
And this everybody must come to know.
Because I mean,
Yeah.
that, how do you say, just,
Huh?
that's in that level. I don't know what is that.
Yes, yeah. Meaning that there's no objective perception.
No object.
Yeah.
Or
Then there's
anything.
only the subject is perceiving itself somehow.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Because I can understand. It's like I'm going through that way and sleeping.
But even if something is going through this way and slipping,
Yeah.
that going through this way and slipping is observed.
Yeah.
Isn't
Observed.
it?
It's observed after
Yeah.
that.
So therefore, it's just a phenomenon. It means
Yeah.
that it's just an appearance. Something
Yeah.
is there.
Yeah.
So I'm asking, don't believe that.
Yeah.
Just see that,
Yeah.
and don't identify with that.
Yeah, sure.
Because
Yeah.
that will vanish,
Yeah. Sure.
but something will witness the vanishing of it.
Yeah, sure.
So that which is witnessing the vanishing of that,
Yeah, sure.
that is the most original thing.
Yeah.
If the other things are relatively
Yeah.
of relative appearance, relative reality, but the one who is witnessing them is what? Because now you say, okay, don't touch any thought, don't touch any image. Okay, so something understands that, and so no thought, no image. Then what is left? You see. So what is left is only yourself, isn't it?
Myself,
Without any association.
No. Myself, I think so.
Yeah. Now, is it possible, my question now, is it possible to move in the existence like this? To move about in the life? The body is still there, body's there.
I'm trying for that, but
who will be trying?
I am.
But why would you need to try? I mean, are you intentionally living your life, or are you witnessing that life is going on? I mean, whether you want to or not, is there life or not? I mean, is life your decision? Meaning that if I am going to touch my face, I would think, okay, I touch my face.
Yeah.
Is it like this, or is it much more spontaneous than that?
I think it's nowadays. I'm just trying to watch.
Because of course it's good. Because most people seem to be actively thinking their life, thinking what to do. It's almost like there's a habit that we must think what I must do. So it's almost in our culture, in our cultural thinking and conditioning. Thinking is given a very high status. Like you must think, and you must try, you must think. So meaning that you're pressured to keep on using your mind to create intention and so on. Okay? But if I ask different people, who is your role model, what does it mean? It means that who is the person who inspires you in your life that you would like somehow to follow their example, to be more like them. Yeah.
Some model.
Yes.
Like that.
So different people will give different things. No? So for most people in your kind of general kind of category, they will not be giving like a rock star as your as your role model, isn't it? It must be that your role model will be, maybe like a saint or a jnani or something.
Yeah, sure.
Isn't it?
Sure.
So these beings are attractive to you because of what? Why would they be your role model? Why not a politician or a doctor? Why would be maybe somebody like a Buddha or something like this be your role model?
To me, I never think about that things. Why it came like that things.
No, but now I ask you. Because it's good sometimes just to check and say, but maybe, because many things we seem to inherit from our life, and you have very strong opinion about, but you never thought about it. Sometimes we never think about it.
No, it's like a flaw to me. I will say it's like I don't know, it's a flaw or anything. I'm naturally attracted to them.
Yeah, you're naturally attracted
because
to them.
even I don't know about Damana Maharshi before, but when I saw his photo, I'm very strong. Some kind of
Yes.
like this.
And
So
some attraction
I
is
don't
there.
know that.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay. It's good. It's a good response from you, in fact, because it's like an intuitive. It's like asking, "Why do you love someone?" You may not be able to answer.
no,
isn't
like
it?
that.
You just know that it's something happened inside.
I don't know.
And
I don't
love
know.
came.
I don't know what.
Yeah. So this is even more intimate, actually, than knowing why you are attracted to something.
No.
It means that it comes from your heart. It didn't come from your
doubt.
head. It came from your heart.
Yeah,
This is already something beautiful. So. We go back to your question. Are you concentrating on a goal, or are you in the natural state of being? Meaning that, another way of putting it, are you with effort or without effort? Do you notice or not?
Yeah, I know. I'm noticing that. But first I'm thinking just effort, not really effort. I'm just what you're saying. I'm practicing, and I'm just.
There's a joy. There's a joy in this practice, no, or not?
Yeah, I'm getting more and more interest, and I don't know, joy or not. I have more interest about to do these things.
Okay.
Because
can I ask another way of putting it? Can I put it another way? Can I ask you in another way? Because you're having a search for to be in your real self, not just to know it here, but to really be established in it.
Yeah, sure.
So, in your meditation exercises, the sense of yourself, of who you are, is it getting stronger or weaker?
Who am I?
Yeah.
I think stronger.
Yeah.
Like
in what way is it stronger?
Less thoughts.
Okay. You see, the reason why I ask you this thing, because if you had said it's getting weaker, and I want to know what's getting weaker, maybe our ego self. If the ego self is getting weaker, it means that your true sense of who you are is getting stronger. So you just answered this and you say, I think it's getting stronger, meaning that I'm getting more established in this, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if you're getting more established in this, it means that somehow your identity as a person or this type of stuff is getting weaker and weaker.
Yeah.
You're more established in your original being.
Yeah.
So
I think so.
there's more space. You don't know?
It's my feelings, but
It's a
I don't know
feeling.
what is the knowledge about that thing. It's my
Not informational knowledge,
no.
but intuitive knowledge. Intuitive
Sure.
knowledge. The reason why I speak a bit like this in this moment, I think, like this now, is to sharpen your own discernment, isn't it? So that this question you can clarify for yourself. Is it that I am concentrating to reach something, or is it that now there's no aspiration to reach anything?
I put that question. I'm putting that question when I'm meditating. So
Yeah, and then what happened? But you have to report now what you find, no? What do you find?
That's why I'm asking, what is that?
Yeah. But I say that it's easy for you to find it. It's easy for you to know. I want to see, I can tell you something, but I value more your answer than my answer. Because if I tell you, it may not be your experience.
No, I understood.
So, but I feel you have the experience to know.
Yeah.
Because if you're looking and you come to this looking, it's wonderful. Somehow. Because actually, it's not like black and white. It's subtle.
Yeah, I think so.
Initially, something is focusing. They're like together, something is focusing. Like, okay. So, in the end, all inquiry, all spiritual practice, it must empty out. It must reach a state of emptiness. It cannot reach a sort of somethingness. You see this, no?
Yeah.
It cannot be that there's an object. It cannot be an objective goal.
No.
It has to be that a subjective experience, meaning that there's nothing that I can identify to say I am this at all.
No. Yeah.
And yet I know I am.
Yeah, sure.
But I cannot, there's no image that can represent I am.
No.
And there's no thought that can represent I am. There's no teaching that can represent I am. There's no gods that can represent I am. Because I am here. No? So you come to this now?
Yeah.
That's already very good. I feel like this because if you come to this place, that no object you can, say, okay, right, I've reached it now. Yes, I've got it.
No, I can't say like that.
This is the maturity of the inquiry.
Yeah.
This is the maturity of the inquiry. I'm very happy to have this type of looking, because by the time you come to this kind of looking, there's not many questions should be troubling you. You shouldn't have many questions about life, what I should do this, because this is already something. The key is turning, isn't it? The key itself is turning in the lock, if so to speak. And the mystery has to fall somehow. It has to fall, because you are there, you are aware if there is concentration or not. Then if you don't know if there's concentration or not, then you have passed concentration. Because if you're concentrating, then we feel I am doing something, I'm trying to do something. But you've gone, something very subtle is happening for you, where you're not sure if this is the case anymore. Am I concentrating, or am I in this thing, in this state? Okay. Then even the question is also observable. Even the question arising, am I doing this or this? Even this question is watched.
Yes.
Is it? Who is the watcher of this question? Yeah. And we don't want verbal answer. Just a question.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't have to ask who is the watcher of it, because I don't want to create another exercise for the mind. What we have to say is that there's already the evidence in you that even this question is watched. So therefore you're there earlier even than this question. So don't go towards even this question, because that's kind of going backwards in a way. Just enough but even this is seen also. Even this is seen. And now concentrating or effortlessness. Who is going to see concentrating or effortlessness, or even the question concerning both? You see, all of these now, they are phenomena in you. And this is completely wonderful for me to
But I can never understand what's going on in me. That's the thing.
You cannot understand what's going on for you?
Yeah, like what I told you. Ask me how do you attracted to this kind of people. I don't know. No. Same these things also.
I am pushing you a little bit because maybe you never asked this type of question. I don't know. It's not bad to be asked this type of question, because actually your consciousness is so broad, because every question comes out of consciousness and every answer comes out of consciousness. It cannot come from another place. So if I ask you a question, you feel uncomfortable, I say, okay, but who's feeling uncomfortable there? You see, because every question comes out of you as consciousness. Do you understand this? Appreciate what I'm speaking.
Yeah.
Every question and every potential question, every thought, every potential thought is coming out of consciousness. And any answer, there's no answer that's so original, it doesn't come from consciousness, it comes out of consciousness and mind. So I just put sometimes this question, and this type of question, it's kind of rubbing a bit and sharpening your discernment, you see, to push you deeper into the space of this. So if I ask you why you're attracted to these people, you don't have to know, actually. You answered a better answer. You said, I don't know. I just always just felt that. I said, this is great. Because what you know intuitively is greater than what you know intellectually.
I think so.
Yes,
I don't
true.
know. That's.
You must sense this.
Yeah. That's a sense.
Because a person can have an intellectual conviction, but they don't have experience, actually.
No.
You have the experience. Maybe you're not able to put it into intellectual.
No, that's
thing.
things. Yeah, sure.
But you're still higher than that. What you know intuitively is greater than what you know intellectually. This is what I'm speaking. But sometimes the people who know intuitively, they become not sure if the people who know intellectually is maybe higher than them because they're more clever usually. You see? And they'll try and manipulate you. So if you're centered in the truth, then you'll see that you're not speaking anything at all. You're just noise. You understand?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So you should not doubt that somebody who knows something intellectually, appears to know something intellectually, maybe can write many books about it. Doesn't mean that they have the experience actually. Some people have the experience, but they can't verbalize it. So anything is left anything is left in there to tell me. What is left? Did you resolve this question or what?
Yeah, I resolved it. Yeah, I think I solved this. Thank you. And I'll feel what's going on.
I kind of want to push on this thing, because if you have really resolved it inside yourself, then you see that even the question that come about whether there's concentration or there's natural experience, which we speak about it and it's completely authentic exchange, this is fine. But at the end of talking about this, what has happened now about this type of question or any other question like this coming for you? It must be nullified completely. Because this level of looking is like one answer, one insight is serving everything. Like one medicine for all, like we were talking the other day. One medicine for everything. Because what you learn in one seeing is so potent, because in that one seeing you are the presence, you are the source from which everything is appearing out of you, it's coming. If you understand this in the heart, it means that no question should trouble you. Or doubt or anything phenomenally. It means that you're relaxed with life. You now see that life is not something to be worked out or controlled even. That some power, the supreme power, is unfolding it.
Yeah, sure. No,
and it's only a problem for the people who think.
Yeah, sure.
Isn't it? The life is only going to be a problem for people who think, and the reason why it's a problem for people who think, because they're always trying to create maybe a path which is imaginary. And the one who is surrendered inside the heart is not thinking of any path, they just are. So when somebody asked one saint, what do you want? And he answered, whatever God gives. It was a beautiful answer actually.
Yeah, sure.
It means that I don't have any desire for myself actually. Just whatever God gives, I'm satisfied with this.
Yeah.
Can you feel somebody who is more content than that? This is supreme contentment.
Yeah, sure.
And actually contentment is bliss. Sometimes when we speak about bliss, people say, but I don't feel any bliss when you talk. I said, well, when I say bliss, I don't mean blissed out, I don't mean freaked out. I mean bliss meaning that you're supremely content. You're not creating some dream of a future or a past. Something is just relaxed and you are with yourself. And that is the nature of the self, meaning that the self is content with itself. But if you look at it from the position of the mind is never happy. But it doesn't understand. It said, well, how can you be content with yourself? You haven't achieved anything, Your family have already built so many things, but what have you done? You haven't done it. So the mind will torment you. It will be your own private, personal terrorist. If you believe this type of thing, then you're not content. Some people feel that to be content or to realize the self is to be lazy. I said, but that's crazy. I mean lazy. I mean, every activity coming out of the self comes out of the self. It's not a human being originated. A human being is itself an expression of that self.
لیکن چنان مگو که سوارم خبر شود لیکن چنان مگو که سوارم خبر